this conversation. I want to bring in Miri now. She's a retired colonel of the Israel Defense Forces. Miri, great to have you with us. Thank you for your experience and wisdom tonight. I just want to ask, based on your 20-year career experience in the military, are we seeing in your mind a prelude to a significant and broader ground invasion in Gaza?
I feel like we've been in this prelude for several days and we've been talking about it. I'd say that we've upped it more, meaning that doesn't mean necessarily that right now this is an overall ground operation in the northern Gaza Strip. It is the continuation and upping in the preparation and as going on. And what do I mean? It means that what we're doing now is we keep doing more. We're going in further. We're trying to get to the openings to the different terror subterranean system. We're trying as much as possible to target both the terrorists themselves and the cache of weapons, the different booby traps, the different surprises that terrorists want to try to trap us into in the Gaza Strip. They very much are very prepared. They've been preparing both the attack on October 7th for years, but they've been preparing their, as they'll call it, ground defenses to try to trap us in these urban areas. So what Israel is doing is trying as much as possible to take care of all these different traps that they're putting there as we go in to try to make our ground operation effective against the terrorists and, of course, to get to the hostages. So that all of this is the preparatory work.
Yeah, there's two separate points there, and I'll take the first one to your point, just testing the water in a sense of what they're going to find. And you mentioned the word traps in particular. Each one of these incursions, and I mentioned this earlier on in the show, on the ground in Gaza provides some form of intelligence. And that's what you're saying they're gathering at this stage. Where are Hamas troops based? Where can we take out to protect the troops that we send in? This is all part of the ongoing prelude that we've been talking about now for, some 2 weeks.
So that's not the only thing that you do. We are using all of the different capabilities that we have. Everybody's aware of the failure on October 7th of our assessment, and in thus the Hamas doing that atrocious attack, because we never thought that they would do something like that. How stupid of us. But right now we're using those immense intelligence capabilities, gathering capabilities, different types of probes, and that includes these ground incursions. And all of this is preparation, because at the end, if we really want to get to the hostages, I don't believe Hamas. They have not said anything about the hostages for the last 3 weeks. They haven't let out any information. They've been playing with us by leaving out happily for women, but that's all. And the ground operation, that's the way to get to them, to find out about them, to hopefully bring them home. So it's the combination of both, using the different intel capabilities, using your foraging into the land, going down underground. In the last few hours, there's been new things. No internet inside the Gaza Strip. From my point of view, a good thing. Most of what they've been putting out is such misinformation, so much. And my heart can go out to the people inside the Gaza Strip. And we've been telling them, move south, get out of this area that we're clearly coming in with our military force.
So the key difference that I can identify between today, when we're talking about the hopes for some kind of sizable hostage release, and what we saw when we saw the 2 hostages released this time last week, is there was an eerie calm in the military activity that we saw in the hours running up to their release. And of course, this is completely different. So to your point, in your mind, are you saying that the IDF have decided that the best way to get these hostages is to go and find them for themselves and not rely on the negotiations that are taking place on the sidelines? Because that's sort of the hint that we got from the IDF spokesperson, Daniel Hagari, now a couple of hours ago, where he said disregard the rumours of those hostage release. Are you saying that the IDF is suggesting that actually the best way is to go in and get them?
The IDF has been saying that from the beginning. The IDF and all of Israelis, none of us believe the Hamas. We want our families home. We want our children, our grandparents, all of these people that were taken from their homes. We want them to come back to Israel, but we don't believe Hamas and this Hamas terror organization. And I say these words, I don't say them lightly. The media manipulation in that sense, they don't want us to come in. They are terrified that we're going to come in and do exactly what we want to do. We need to arrive both at the terrorists and at their capabilities, so that they use that when they kidnapped over 200 people and killed so many more, and on purpose did it in such a way that you don't know who's alive and who's dead. When they did so, the hostages are their asset. And right now, what Israel is saying, the hostages are ours. We're going to take care of them, but you cannot use them as an asset. They're trying to use the hostages to not only delay the ground operation, but the terms of ceasefire. Israel doesn't bite into that. I don't think that the governments around the world bite into that. We all want the hostages home. None of us believe that Hamas are going to let them out.
Miri Eisen there. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Pamela?